Hi guys! Thank you for joining. I've been getting multiple questions about how you can move to Canada. And there are many ways how you can move to Canada. And today we're going to talk about how to move to Canada through a job offer from a Canadian employer, or how to find a job in Canada while you're still abroad. We will discuss a few resources you can leverage, what to expect from each, and share a few tips. Even though there are multiple ways how you can move to Canada, many people choose work visa specifically because it helps you to settle down with more confidence. You get salary from the start, you can assimilate better, build new friendships and relationships with colleagues, and it just gives you peace of mind. But how do you find a job and get a job offer in Canada while you're oceans away? Let's discuss. Well, first of all, let's talk about how people who are already in Canada are able to find jobs. There is a multitude of ways, but I will highlight these four. Is networking, online resources, recruiting agencies, and canvassing employers. Networking is one of the best and most reliable ways how to get a job in Canada. Many companies have so-called referral system, and when they have a job opening, they prefer to hire from within the company. It means that any employee who is already working for the company can submit a resume of someone they know, who they think might be a good fit for the position. As a result, about 80% of job openings don't even reach job postings online, because they get filled from within before they can be posted publicly. In Canada, people prefer to work with those they know and can trust. That's why many of the job openings get filled via referrals. Research shows that referred employees are usually more reliable, they're a better cultural fit, and they're more loyal to the company. So my advice would be to never miss an opportunity to network. The rest 20% of job openings that weren't filled via networking or referral program get posted on online resources and public job boards. The most popular resources would be LinkedIn, Indeed, Workopolis, Monster, and Job Bank. Many companies also have job postings on their websites in careers section. These job postings usually get hundreds of applications, especially if it's a well-paid position in a well-known company in one of the big cities like Toronto, Vancouver, Montreal, Calgary. The process of selecting the right candidate is very competitive, and it can take months. And among all of those applications, you will usually have both people who are born and raised in Canada, as well as those who moved to Canada from any other country. As a result, hiring managers usually have more than enough applications, and they don't usually look for people outside of Canada. But there are also recruiting agencies, and some of them focus on specific professions or specific industries. Many companies rely on headhunters and recruiting agents to find them the right candidate, and they usually pay them to do the search. It's completely free of charge for those looking for a job. So my tip number one is, if you come across a company that asks you to pay for their service, it's a scam. There are also many agencies that focus on foreign workers who are interested to come to Canada. I will leave some links below, and if you're looking for a recruiting agency that specializes in your profession, just drop a comment below and I will point you in the right direction. If for some reason none of the ways above work, or you simply don't find the role of your dreams in the company you're aiming for, you can always try and reach to a potential employer through cold calling or cold emailing. Some employers, especially in fast-growing companies, like people who take initiative. Who knows, maybe the company is growing and is planning to start hiring process, so you could be the first in the line when the opportunity is available. So all you need to do is just present yourself well and show that you would be the right fit for the company. When the time comes, the company will keep you in mind and they will contact you, so you can get a head start in the recruitment process. Or maybe the hiring process is already happening, but the role is not yet publicly posted, like we discussed in the beginning of this video. In this case, you can become the first external candidate. Just make sure you ace all your interviews. Okay, now let's talk about what all of these ways mean to you as a foreign worker trying to get a job in Canada. As for networking, yes, it would be hard to do from overseas. And you can't just come to Canada, pay big bucks for this vacation and just network during your stay. Well, okay, yes, you can, but I have a hard time imagining it. How about you try finding people you know who are already in Canada? like remote family, friends, friends of friends, or former colleagues. LinkedIn is perfect for information interviews and networking. You can even do this. Make a list of companies you're interested in and find roles that you would like to apply for. Then find somebody on LinkedIn who is already working there, or maybe in the department you're aiming for. Reach out to them, introduce yourself. Keep the conversation flowing, and when the time comes, kindly ask them if they could refer you to the job opening. All you need to do is to get your foot in the door and get noticed among many candidates. Don't be shy to use LinkedIn. Reach out to recruiters and follow hiring managers and engage in comments and conversations with them. That's how you get noticed, by building relationships and participating in meaningful value exchange. Before you start your interviewing process, make sure your employer has experience and is comfortable with hiring people from outside Canada. Nowadays, it's becoming a lot easier because of the pandemic situation. Many employers have become remote by default. It means they can hire from anywhere. So let's say you got all that nailed. Unfortunately, that would only be your first step. Next, you and your potential employer should be ready to go through some approval from Canadian government. It means your potential employer should be ready to get a positive labor market impact assessment, or LMIA. An LMIA is permission from Canada's Ministry of Employment and Social Development to hire a foreign worker for a job for which no Canadian citizen or permanent resident can be found. And that's where knowing the right people unfortunately will not help. LMIAs are issued based on the needs of Canadian economy. So if your friend knows a guy who is looking for an admin assistant or a factory worker, but there are tons of unemployed admin assistants or workers in that area of Canada, you're likely out of luck. LMIA is a vast topic to discuss, and there are also LMIA exempt occupations, but we're not going to dive into it. But please check the description box below for useful links where you can read more about this topic. For now, let's move on. And here we get to online resources. Isn't it the easiest for you just to keep scrolling through job postings and applying and sending out your resume to any possible opportunity? Yes, it's the easiest for you, but for the local hiring manager, the easiest way is to hire somebody who is already in Canada, knows English or French, and probably has local experience or education. As you remember, local Canadian labor market can be very competitive. HR gets hundreds of applications, tailored resumes, and cover letters. Plus, HR might have time frames to hire the right candidate, and it takes a lot of time to get LMIA and to bring someone from overseas. And don't forget about visa application processing times and so on, so be prepared to wait. I'm not saying that getting a job like this is impossible, but it might be very challenging. Watch out for job postings where employers state that they're willing to provide work visa to Canada, and keep away from those that state that they only hire people who already have the right to work in Canada. These guys won't change their minds. Overall, if you're using online resources, make sure your resume is written according to Canadian style. It's tailored for every position you apply for, and don't forget about cover letter. And also, make your LinkedIn profile look clean and professional. And now we're moving on to recruiting agencies. And this could be the right place for you to try first. As I already mentioned, some agencies are focused on foreign workers, and some agencies are focused on specific industries and occupations. For instance, workers in artificial intelligence and data science are in a very high demand, and these positions are very hard to fill in. I left a few links for you in the description box below, with the list of agencies you might try and use. And always do your own research according to your specific situation, your profession, your industry, your experience, and your expertise. And don't forget about possible scams. Always verify agencies and employers you're talking to. The rule of thumb is, if it seems to be too good to be true or you're asked to pay, it's a scam. What's good about recruitment agencies that provide genuine service? They know how to manage employment arrangements for foreign workers. It means they will save you time and stress. But once again, stay cautious, stay alert, read your contract, double-check all information, and ask questions and clarify all concerns that you might have. Sometimes people are hired to work for a Canadian company with the condition that they can stay in their home country. Provided the time difference isn't that huge, you can actually make it work. I've known examples when people would start working like this, and then the company would see the real value in the foreign worker and invite them to come to Canada and go through LMIA process for them. In other cases, if you're working for a Canadian employer while being in your home country, you can always later add this to your resume and use it to move forward. Last but not least in our list, canvassing potential employers. But what would it be like for you if you're outside Canada? Well, you could generate Canadian phone number and call Canadian employers using different apps, but it would be shady and unfair to make them think you're in Canada while you're not. At some point it would come up, and it wouldn't be pretty. Unless you're clear from the start and they are ready to hire you to work remotely from overseas. But be prepared that in conditions of a very competitive labor market in Canada, it would be tough to sell yourself in such a way that Canadian employer would prefer you over someone local. Nevertheless, trying every option is worth it. Learn more about the company you're trying to contact. Do your research. Learn more about their background, their projects, their future plans, and their managers, and reach out to people working there. You don't have to ask for a job right away. Just introduce yourself, be polite and professional, ask questions, tell about yourself and what you're good at, and make a hint how your skills might be useful for the future projects in this company. Stay in touch, so if there is an opportunity in the company, you might come up in their mind as the right fit. Some companies have a pool of candidates, proactive people who reached out to them and stayed in touch. So the next time there is an opportunity, HR might start reaching out to people from that pool. So all in all, don't give up, keep trying, be proactive. If you don't put yourself out there, no one will know that you're a skilled professional looking for a job in Canada. Do your part, keep improving, do your research, and step by step you can get there and make that change in your career. Join Facebook groups or different forums like Reddit or Quora to find people who are able to find job in Canada while being in their home country, and they can give you some specific advice. If this video was informative enough, please let me know by clicking the like button below and subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. Thank you for watching, take care and see you in the next video.